Book of Heaven, Volume 30, January 30th, 1932. The Divine Will, Spy, Sentry, Mother and Queen. Its blowing breath forms in the soul the basin of love in order to enclose its truths. Ecstasy of love of the Creator, nourishments that He gives to His gifts. I was following the acts of the divine fiat, and it seemed to me that in each of its acts that I followed rend, it prepared for me its blowing breath of love, which it contained within itself and longed to unleash from itself, to make it a prisoner inside my little soul. And I, feeling its love, from within its same love, unleashed my love toward the one who so much loved me, and I longed for its new blowing breath of love, to say to it with more intense affection, I love you. It seemed to me that the desire of the divine will to be loved is so great that it itself places in the soul the dose of its love to make itself loved, and it waits for the love of the creature to be able to say to her, how happy I am that you love me. But while I was thinking of this, my adored Jesus, making his little visit, told me,
My daughter, you must know that our love gives of the incredible. Our divine will is the spy of the creature, and it keeps spying to see when she is disposed to receive its blowing breath of contained love, because it knows that the creature does not possess a great quantity of divine love. She just has a particle of the infinite love from when she was created, and if it has not been nourished, it is like the fire when it is under the ashes, such that, while the fire exists, the ashes keep it covered and repressed, in a way that it cannot even make its heat felt. Human love. We do not want, and therefore our divine will uses its loving stratagems, it spies on the dispositions, and it blows. Its blowing breath, like light breeze, puts to flight the ashes that the human will has produced. The particle of our infinite love is revived. It lights up. My divine volition continues to blow, and it adds more divine love. The soul feels herself being emptied, warmed. She experiences the coolings of love, and from within the particle of the infinite love that she possesses, she loves us, and she gives us as her own our divine love. You must know that the love of this divine will of mine is so great that it uses all the arts. It acts as a spy, and it blows its breath upon her. It acts as her mother, and it rocks her in its arms. It acts as her sentry, and it watches over her. It acts as her queen, and it dominates her. It acts as sun to her, and it illuminates her, and it offers itself even to serve her. And when it wants to deposit in you its knowledges, its truths, even just one of its words, what does it do? It blows its breath upon you so much that first it forms in you its basin of love, of light, in order to enclose its truths in the basin of its love and light that it formed in you. So it entrusts its truths to its own love, to its light, knowing that only its love can have true interest in keeping them, and in spurring you on so that they may not remain hidden. Oh, if it wasn't for this, my basin of love, which encloses all the knowledges of my fiat, how many things you would have buried in your soul without anyone knowing anything. This is the reason why, before manifesting to you its truths, it acts as the all-doer around you, to prepare you, to place new love in you, to form the new basin for its truths, and put them in the safe bank of its divine love. And if I wait for you in your acts with so much love, these are our usual pretexts, the occasion we keep looking for, to find the comma, the dot of the creature, in order to give her new love, new graces, and even more so, because we want her company. Without the one who wants to do our will, we cannot be. Our will itself already brings her to us, in its arms, into our acts, so that she may be with us and with everything we do.
After this, I continued my round in the acts of the divine will, and as I reached the point of the creation of man, I paused in order to watch as spectator with what love the divine maker had created him. And my highest good Jesus added,
Little daughter of my will, to the little ones we feel drawn to tell our ineffable and infinite secrets. We want to tell our story, more so since her origin is involved in it, so as to make her touch with her own hand with what love was her littleness loved and loved again by us. In fact, she was present. She was already within us in the act of the creation of man. And this, in order to let her celebrate, and for us, to celebrate together with her the solemn act of her creation. Now, you must know that our Supreme Being, in the act of creating the creature, found itself in a sort of profound ecstasy. Our love enraptured our divine being. Our love enraptured us, and our fiat placed itself in act of operating with its creative virtue. And it was in this ecstasy of love that we issued from ourselves all the graces, the gifts, the virtues, the beauties, the sanctities, and so forth, with which all creatures were to be endowed and enriched. Our love was not content, other than when it placed in order, outside of us, everything that was to serve all and each one, all the varieties of sanctities and specialties of beauties and gifts, so that each one might be the facsimile of her Creator. These endowments and riches are already at the disposal of all. So, each creature, in being born, already has her endowment ready, which God, from the very moment man was created, issued from himself for each one. But how many do not know it, nor do they avail themselves of the rights that God gave them? And while they are rich, they live a poor life, and are so far away from true sanctity, as if they were not the beings who came out of that God thrice holy, who cannot make but holy, beautiful, and happy creatures, similar to himself. But the centuries will not end, nor will the last of days come, if everything we have issued in our ecstasy of love is not taken by the creatures. In fact, it can be said that extremely little has been taken of that plenty which we have placed at their disposal. But listen, good daughter, to another excess of our ardent love. In putting out of ourselves the endowments, the graces, the gifts, we did not detach them from us. Outside of us, yes, but inseparable from us, so that the creature, in taking our gifts, with our inseparability, might receive the continuous nourishment in order to nourish our gifts, our sanctity, our beauty, our graces. So together with our gifts, we rendered the creature herself inseparable from us, because she does not have the necessary and holy nourishments with which to nourish our gifts. And we offer to give gifts and nourishments in order to nourish our sanctity, our celestial graces. So we are in continuous act of being together with her, to give her now the food to nourish our sanctity, now the food to nourish our strength, now the distinct food to nourish our beauty. In sum, we are around her, and always busy giving the different nourishments to each gift we have given her. And this serves to preserve, to grow, and to crown our gifts. And the happy creature also is crowned, with and in our own gifts. Therefore, to give a gift to the creature serves to bind us with her, not only to nourish it, but we give her, as pledge, our work, the inseparability, and our very life. In fact, if we want our likeness, we must give our life to be able to produce our likeness in her. And this we do gladly. Even more, our love repeats for us our ecstasy and makes us give everything, so as to have us take the littleness of the creature, which is also ours, and which came out of us. From this you can comprehend what our cares are, our ecstasies of love when we give, not a gift, but our own will as life of the creature. To nourish our gifts is one thing, to nourish our will is another. By virtue of it, the creature already enraptures us continuously to herself, and we suffer continuous ecstasies of love. And in these ecstasies, we do nothing but pour out love in torrents, seas of light, indescribable graces. Nothing is given by measure, because we must not only nourish her, but we must keep her surrounded by cortege and honored with divine honors in the creature. Therefore, my daughter, be attentive, and let nothing human come out of you, so that you too may honor, with divine acts, my will in you.
Fiat.